Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another receipt chain for the Cafe and Diner archives, this time N52F. The first receipt was posted on the 7th of December, 1995 by employee number 62, and it says, "Is anyone else been having trouble with their CADCOM lately? Wording the flip to seems it. Sentence A and I time every see what I mean. End sentence, A when knows CADCOM, the how no, even don't I. It's not like I'm doing a full line break or anything. Tech-based America, other any than accurately more speech transcribed to able is CADCOM, the guess I. Again, then regardless, something is seriously wrong with at least my CADCOM, so we should probably get in touch with Barista Tech Industries to see if they can fix it. I've already communicated with number 71 about the problem, and he says he'll try and get in touch with them as soon as possible, which you'd assume Barista Tech would be more responsive considering we're their only customers. We are their only customers, right? There can't be that many people who use this sort of tech. Not to mention their name is Barista Tech. Seems pretty specific to me. Plus, number 71 is related to Barista Tech's owner. Hey, wait, it stopped flipping things. Finally, now I can get back to work. Hang on, I can't use the letter after J now? Seriously? What the heck? Oh wait, annoying seriously that's. Well, oh great. The flipping thing is back again. Problem-specific CADCOM A isn't this thin to starting. I guess it could be customer-related. B to not it for perfect 2 seems timing comedic. I guess we do have a few customers who are known to mess with tech. CADCOMs are out fraying. B could who on thoughts. Any has she if C and visit 26 number pay should I. 71 number 2 edition in esro gnitting sty I'll leave I. CADCOM error 97, type M. A critical error has occurred. Please reboot your CADCOM device. If the error persists, please contact Barista Tech Industries on and channel Papa 15 14 20 Charlie Hotel 1 Romeo 20 Romeo 1914. Okay, so we have CN52F02. The password hint is Barista Tech HQ. It's supposed to be in the previous receipt. It's one word. I'm not sure, but let's see what this says. See the bottom of N52F01. Half of the code is one cipher, while half is another. Which cipher encodes individual letters using numbers? Which other one uses words? I've got no idea. Font chart train. Pop that in there. Submit. Beautiful. This was posted on the 8th of December 1995 by number 26, and it says, "Ahoy, we've got gremlins in Long Beach." So what's the deal with Mr. Hazen? Well, they're a nasty bunch, though mostly harmless. I mean, we call them Mr. for a reason, though don't underestimate these little guys either. They're known for causing electronics and machinery to malfunction. So yeah, I guess if they make your brakes malfunction, you might end up injured. But the good news is, they seem to be more interested in playing jokes than seriously hurting anyone. So what does Mr. Hazen look like? Well, they're hard to spot as they have a built-in camouflage like a chameleon. When you can get a good look at them, they're small impish creatures with sharp teeth and claws. I describe them as a mix between a lizard and a small primate. They're roughly 2 to 3 feet tall, elongated limbs, and pointed ears. Think like Dante's gremlins, just with a shorter torso and less ear. Gremlins are also a highly sociable bunch, traveling in packs and communicating with each other using a series of high-pitched clicks and chirps. Gremlins are also quite well known for their ability to make things go haywire. Not a lot of rhyme or reason for how they make things go haywire, but I suspect it has something to do with being Esterskaldian cryptids, yeah? Machinery and tech don't mix with Esterskaldian magics. While, as far as I know, you can feed these guys past midnight, they are, funnily enough, very susceptible to water, which causes them to sort of go poof. Now, I did say they're Esterskaldian cryptids, though gremlins come in 2 distinct types, like chupacabras. The typical Esterskaldian variety seems more focused on destroying tech for nature's sake. And then there's the much more infamous variety cultivated by the Prince of Greed. Infernesian gremlins are a lot more mischievous and tend to use their powers to cause enough bedlam to grab their heart's content of shinies. So our first step in dealing with these little troublemakers should be figuring out which type we have. Next, we have CN52F03. It is passcoded. It's a bunch of numbers. I'm guessing it's 198-212-4245. It's sci-fi trivia, 3 words. Don't know what that is, so let's figure it out. That's 8, duh. It's not A1Z26. Honestly, just typing the numbers into Google would give you the answer. ISBN 10. Gremlins go home. Okay. Gremlins go home. Yep, okay, cool. That was pretty easy, thankfully. This was posted on the 9th of December, 1995 by employee number 62, and it says, "Thankfully, number 71 was able to get in touch with his sister, cousin, aunt?" It's really not clear who Marcel is to number 71, but the main point is number 71 got in touch with Marcel at Barista Tech to gremlin-proof our CADCOMs. And despite the trouble in actually reaching her, she does work fast. I'll give her that. The catcom should now be patched against not only gremlins, but all lesser-class technopaths. She also cleaned up the last remnants of the Miss Zolfa worm that had infected our catcoms a few months back. If only protecting the rest of Long Beach's tech and machines was as easy. Reports have been popping up all over town about tech going crazy, cars breaking down, and a few planes having to be grounded due to parts of their wings falling off. At least number 26 seems pretty confident in her assessment that we are indeed dealing with Mr. Hazen, though I think it's still a little too early to say if we're dealing with the Infernus or Esther Skald variants. On one hand, I haven't heard about any unusual rises in thievery. On the other, the behavior of these gremlins doesn't scream vengeance of nature to me either. It feels more like they're just being a nuisance, which could indicate they're trying to stir up chaos in an attempt to steal things. And then there's the question of where these little pests came from. Sorry, I mean from the other side to flip side. After the whole Miss Andrews fiasco, the boundary lines around the general LA Orange County area have been noticeably weaker. I'll see if I can track down their entry point using some sort of reverse technological interference. And wherever the signal is most interfered with, it's a good chance that's where Mr. Hazen is coming in from. And next we have N5204. It's not passcoded. It's posted on the 11th of December 1995 by number 62, and it says, I was able to track down Mr. Hazen's location, and it seems he's coming in from Bixby Park via a private jet. And the scene around the park isn't great. Mr. Hazen has been wreaking havoc on the surrounding area, causing machines and electronics to malfunction and causing general chaos. He's a rather demanding customer, that's for sure. From my rough estimates, Mr. Hazen has been to the park at least 20 times just today. Of course, that isn't even counting his trips elsewhere in SoCal. To serve Mr. Hazen, we will need to figure out a way to charter him a new flight to Ottawa and designate Bixby as a strict no-flight zone. While typically I tip my hat towards number 71, I think I might be able to approach this conundrum a bit more technologically. According to Marcel, one of the new features of our latest CAD-COM version is a sort of flight tracker and disruptor. If it works how she says it should work, all I need to do is find the peak of air traffic near Bixby and then activate the flight disruptor to clue in air control that the public park isn't a very safe makeshift airport. Obviously, this only works with anomalous airports, but if it works, it'll make cleaning up the rest of Miss Andrews' mess easier. The only problem is I can't get my CAD-COM to work within 100 feet of Bixby due to the frequency of Mr. Hazen's numerous trips. So I'm open to ideas on how to at least get an opening there. After observing his behavior, I feel pretty confident in saying that Mr. Hazen arrived at Bixby around 2 o'clock. I've seen him indulge in multiple 5-finger discounts around the park. Maybe we can use that to our advantage somehow? This is CN52F05, and the password is persistent CADCOM error type 13 1120 blank 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 blank. It's comic book trivia, it's 2 words, I've got no clue. 53 likes comic books. Any comic book heroes or villains that can cause technical glitches. The 2 half-redacted letters are his name spelt backwards. That's thematic. I have no idea. Mr. Mixpit. I have no idea how to say that. This one was posted December 12th, 1995 by number 53, and it says, so a gremlin problem, eh? Right up my expertise. I've seen Gremlins 1 and 2 like 50 times. Admittedly, the lambasting of capitalism probably won't help us much here, but I think the first film has enough good ideas for me to work something out. I read up on Flower's dossier on the little weirdos, and I like the idea of using water to make them go poof. Honestly, I'm tickled pink to see what she meant by poof. The quotations add a layer of intrigue and mystery that simply titillates me beyond comprehension. Assuming IT is on the right track, if these gremlins are in fact from Infernus, then getting them in one spot should be no problem. We'll lure them into one spot using a mountain of juicy other tech. Now, if only we had a bunch of shiny other tech. Oh, of course, the thing in my lap upon which I type. Obviously, risking our catcoms is perhaps a bad idea, but they're supposed to be gremlin-proof now, right? Plus, once the coup de grace is triggered, we can have the catcoms immediately send out the portal, closing, signal, whatever thing that 62 was talking about. What is the coup de grace? Well, it's a double win in my opinion. We'll have a water balloon fight at Bixby tomorrow. Of course, we won't be aiming entirely at each other, but at the gremlins. I think we could also get a few sprinklers for maximum poofage. The best part? Tourists will probably flee the second we start lobbing ice-cold water balloons around, seeing as the high tomorrow should be in the 60s and low in the 40s. We'll look insane, I assure you that, but we should be able to fend off the gremlins long enough for the portal to close while keeping tourists at bay. I'm hoping that after a handful of gremlins go poof, they'll all run scared back through the portal. I'm also hoping that Flower's idea of poof is something manageable. Well, let's find out. This is the final receipt in the N52F receipt chain, N52F06. It's posted on December 14th, 1995 by employee 62. The tab is paid for courtesy of 62, 53, and 26, and it says, Mr. Hazen came into the cafe and diner at 2 o'clock via an uncharted flight into Bixby Park sometime after our Miss Andrews service. Mr. Hazen took a specific interest in our unique technology, which drew him into the cafe for a return service to Ottawa. With the help of number 53 and number 26, we ensured Mr. Hazen's water remained filled to ensure maximum customer satisfaction. He was so pleased he practically popped. Seriously, and very distinguishingly popped, which delighted number 53 and disgusted number 26 and I. So much popping. And as Mr. Hazen was popping up with excitement, he did get a little too rambunctious. Thankfully, we were able to claw him away from the few tourists who didn't seem to mind the winter water balloon game. In any case, after Mr. Hazen's popping, he was so excited by our superior water service that he had to rush home to Ottawa. While it's always nice when a customer goes back home and spreads the word about our excellent service, I hope he doesn't bring another rush of customers in, though another rush of customers is expected thanks to the disruption caused by Miss Andrews last month. However, thanks to a slight upgrade to our CADCOM systems, we were able to flag Bixby Park as a no-flight zone, shutting down the unsanctioned airport. In theory, as we were shutting down the Bixby airport, Mr. Hazen did cause a minor disruption in the CADCOM signal. Our CADCOM should be Mr. Hazen-proof, but the blip is still worth keeping an eye on. At the very least, qualitatively speaking, it looks like the Bixby airport is a problem of the past. While numerous other unsanctioned airports exist all around Long Beach, it seems we have a way to shut them down. Of course, this only works on very small temporary airports, but if we amplify the signal, we could also use it to temporarily shut down a more established airport. And that's where we ended. This one seems rather benign, seems actually kind of fun, but I don't expect it to remain this way in further receipt chains. So we'll have to figure out about that next time. Until then, sweet nightmares. I just wanted to take the time to thank my Patreons and channel members. Your support is so appreciated. If you are not a channel member or Patreon and you would like to become one, there's a link in the description below. All channel members and Patreons receive 24 hours early access to all content posted on both of my channels. And all Patreons or channel members of the $10 Hellhound tier can request one horror-related video or stream topic, or one horror-related game that I play on my live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel and the content that I make.